They just keep doing it. Keep winning crazy games. Tony East here with Forbes and Locked On Pacers in Gainbridge Fieldhouse to the Pacers. Did it again. 105-99 this time over the Brooklyn Nets. Their third win in a row that has just been nuts. They've won 5 of 6. 4 of them have been insane plays late to get it done. This time it was overtime required. The Pacers led in the first quarter of this game 22-21. They literally did not lead again until overtime. They tied the game a few times in the fourth quarter but never led. Yet at the end of the game, they were winning. And the Nets dominated the time of lead in this game. The Pacers couldn't come back until they did. The late play of Ben Mathurin, another story after he was tremendous. The previous night, he got fouled on a 3 with 14 seconds left and hit all 3 free throws. And that was after he had shot the possession before that with 40 seconds to go. Pacers were down 5 with 1:42 to go, and Mathurin with every point late to get it done. He was sensational, and of course good in overtime as well. I mean, these have been this one was less momentous in terms of the number of events that happened late for the Pacers to actually win. But this one did have a lot of Mathurin successes in terms of, hitting a layup to give the Pacers, I believe, their final lead with 2 minutes and 11 seconds left. He hit their first shot of overtime to give them a lead with 4 minutes and 25 seconds left. I think every Pacers basket the rest of the way was free throws, but he was just terrific again at finding ways to put the ball in the basket. The final lead came later via T.J. McConnell free throws after a Zaire Williams 3, but it was just an incredible game again for the Pacers, who keep showing this resilience, right? They've had several moments in these last couple games where many watching, myself included being at 2 of them, have thought something like, oh, that's probably it. And the Mavs go up 7 with a minute to go. The Nets are up 5 inside a minute, or up 3 late, and the Pacers don't make a 3 but get 3. Like, just several times where you think, oh, that's a crusher, that's going to sink them. And it hasn't. They've shown a lot of resilience to fight through and win these, even without Tyrese Halliburton available for any of them. But this one was about their defense coming alive late, which was needed. I mean, the only reason the Nets were in this was the Pacers beating themselves. 22 turnovers for the Pacers in this one, just handing the game to the Nets. The Nets took 20 more shots. That's not perfectly descriptive of the game. The Pacers took 13 more free throws. The possession battle was fairly even, but the Nets had so many chances the Pacers just gave them. Once they cleaned those up, I don't know if the Pacers had a single turnover in overtime, maybe one. They gave themselves enough chances to actually score and let their defense help them. They finally got over the hump. This one was still just as insane as their previous 2 games. Their win over Dallas with an Andrew Nembhard game-winning 3. Their win over Minnesota with an Obi Toppin game-winning 3. But didn't have quite the same game-winner craziness late. This one just had the Pacers finally getting out of their own way to get over the hump. And a lot of special player performances, 2 in particular, that stand out as the Pacers get their 40th win. They only have 29 losses. Benedict Mathurin was just terrific. 28 points one day after he was awesome against Dallas. Especially had 16 points in the final 6 minutes of that game in that fourth quarter. To get it done 28 today. 6 free throws for him in this one, 2 threes. He made 10 shots from the field. Almost 30% of the Pacers' total makes in the game came from Ben Mathurin. He and Miles Turner were the only really efficient players for the Pacers in this one. As the game ends, the only 2 guys who shot over 50% were those 2, and Mathurin adds 16 rebounds. That is just will to win kind of stuff. He was going to get it and push himself a lot of the time. He could get to spots in this game as well. The Pacers have done well too. In this game, less so than the night before, Wednesday, spread things out and give him chances to drive. They weren't as spread out today, but he still found just enough ways to get into space for a shot or draw a foul or whatever he could do. And when he makes 10 of the 17 and knocks down 2 threes, he just looks unstoppable sometimes. And this one wasn't. I thought Dallas, he played a little bit better late. I don't mean that to diminish what he did today, though. He just stepped up when it mattered. And in this one, too, I thought a big moment from him from a, go to war, be a dude perspective, right? Straight across the court from where I'm sitting right now, trying to Watford shoves Andrew Nembhard. Miles Turner doesn't like it. Those 2 get, fists up. I believe a punch was thrown. Miles Turner got hit in the neck. Ben Mathurin runs over in between Turner and Watford and was ready to go. Like he said, he kept the level head because the Pacers, it was a tight game and they needed him. But he said if they're up 25, he might have got ejected, which made me chuckle. He was awesome in this game from a demeanor perspective, focused, good play, punishing. Pacers did a good job giving him chances to do so, and he did a good job taking set advantages. Miles Turner was also terrific. Both those guys, by the way, played over 39 minutes on the second night of a back-to-back, third and four nights, fifth and seven nights. Turner didn't play Monday, but Mathurin did. I mean, his legs have got to be heavy. He deserves a day off more than anybody. Tomorrow, Miles Turner, 8 for 11. All three of his misses were from deep, although he did go 2 for 5 from long range. He was 6 for 6 on twos. He made all 5 of his foul shots in the game and 10 rebounds, which is something that Rick Carlisle said he challenged Miles Turner to do before the game. He said good things happen when Miles Turner gets 10 rebounds. He did so in this game, and importantly for the Pacers, 5 blocks, right? The Nets took 53s. The Pacers did well to not let them get going in the paint, or try at least get any rhythm going, in the paint. The Nets were effective actually finishing when they did get to the basket, right? They were 21 for 28 right at the rim, but that's not a crazy volume. Pacers took more shots right at the rim than the Nets, for example, even though the Pacers themselves took 31 threes and got a lot of free throws. If you take out the free throw part of it and those shots at the rim that drew fouls were actually converted to shots for the Pacers, they'd have been well ahead in shots at the rim. But anyway, Turner swallowed up a lot of net shots, including blocking a Keon Johnson layup late that would have it made the game much closer in the final seconds. Instead, gave the Pacers the ball with their lead that they already had, and they iced the game at the foul line. So a two-way play from Turner in this one after getting benched in the fourth quarter the previous night, not playing Monday in Minnesota. This was his best game of this 3-game set of insanity for the Pacers. He was huge late. He hit big shots, and after he got in the scuffle with Watford, where he got a tech for his actions, he was hyped up, right? He made a huge 3 right after that, and you could see him excited. His first 3 he made, the Pacers, I think, were 5 for 19 from deep at the time. He looks at the sky and says, finally, right? He was huge, and the timeliness of his shots, the defense, the moments that he met, those two, Miles Turner and Ben Mathurin, 51 of the Pacers' 105 points, so they were 2 points away from half of the Pacers' points. They were absolutely huge. It's hard to state it. Pascal Siakam, only 6 points, his fewest of the season. He was 2 for 8 from the field. The Nets were doubling him, trying to get him off the ball. Aaron Nesmith was solid, but not quite at the scoring level he's shown in some recent games, albeit he was still good. Andrew Nembhard wasn't making shots, but was playing good defense. But he had 6 turnovers, and he got ejected early in overtime when he got his second tech, right? The bench, just okay. Obi Toppin, 2 for 6. Ben Shepherd, 0 for 6. He had a rough night. Thomas Bryant, 1 for 3. They couldn't get enough there. But TJ McConnell with some big plays and free throws late. He had a huge McConnell-esque steal late to get Siakam some key free throws. Jarris Walker hit half of his shots and did just enough in his minutes. Pacers went to a big size lineup with Jarris Walker in at the fourth quarter that was able to disrupt the flow of the game just enough to guide the Pacers back into this one. Quentin Jackson did his usual come in and be a juicer thing. He was +5 in 4.5 minutes. So not a lot from anybody besides Turner and Mathurin, but just enough from a few guys for the Pacers to get over the hump and win this game. What an insane week they've had. Somehow they keep winning. They have the Nets in this building again on Saturday. Emotions, I assume, will be high after the Watford interaction that I have previously discussed, and potentially lots of guys leaving the bench, some suspensions. But fittingly, the teams play each other, so the impact will be felt very equally across the league and across the teams. We'll see what happens. I'll be there again breaking down that game. You can hear more about this on Locked On Pacers and read a story coming up about this crazy week for the Pacers and Forbes. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.